Testing 1 2 3. Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone? Yes, I can.
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone? Yes, I can.
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone? Yes, I can.
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone? Yes, I can.
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone?
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Well, we're a couple minutes late. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yes, that is something that.
Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone?
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
So you don't have to worry about people asking questions or anything.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, sometimes they'll ask me, like, on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk about temperatures. There's just
All right, here we go.
Something that.
Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone?
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
So you don't have to worry about people asking questions or anything.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, sometimes they'll ask me, like, on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk about temperatures. There's just
All right, here we go.
Something that.
Check check check.
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
So you don't have to worry about people asking questions or anything.
It's on the home screen. I just put it on the other side. I mean, sometimes they'll ask me, like, on Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just talk about temperatures. There's just
All right, here we go.
Something that.
Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone?
Don't you want to hear
Hello.
me?
Check check check. 1 2 3. Hello. Check check check. 1 2 3.
Hello.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
So you don't have to worry about people asking questions or anything.
It's on the home screen. I just put it on the other side. I mean, sometimes they'll ask me.
Hello, Internet. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Just talk about temperatures. There's just
So we have read.
All right, here we go.
Something that.
Check check check. Hello. Testing 1 2. Hello. Can I speak in the microphone?
Don't you want to hear me?
Hello.
Welcome
Check
to
check check. 1 2 3. Hello.
podcast
Check check check. 1 2 3.
live
Testing.
Revolution Taco and Tequila Bar in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this is my first time in downtown Little Rock.
Thank you for tuning
And
in.
I thought it was nice. It was rainy, but it was nice. So for anybody who's watching for the first time or listening to the podcast for the first time, my name is Mike Huberty. I play in
Check check check.
spots, and I also work on Madison history. And with me is
Don't
welcome
Check
to
check check. 1 2 3. Hello.
podcast
Check check check.
live
And the co-host.
the Revolution Taco and Tequila Bar in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this is my first time. Since we're in Little Rock, we went downtown Little Rock.
Thank you for tuning
And
in.
I thought it was nice. It was rainy, but it was nice.
That's right.
That's why I brought in. For anybody who's watching for the first time or listening to the podcast for the first time, my name is Mike
Yes,
Huberty.
welcome to the show, Linda. Thank you for joining us tonight. Forward to it. We're very Yeah.
So
It is raining tonight. Thank you for staying out tonight. We're really happy that you're able to excited to talk to be here. Many adventures are here with us. Even
Taco on the other side. Bar.
You know what? I had
Little Rock, Arkansas. I almost lost. Since we're in Little Rock, we went downtown. I thought it was nice.
very hot. It makes
So that was
which was
very popular on the podcast.
Yeah,
So
it is racial day at night. We have one who's really happy that I'm excited to be here. Many adventures are here with us. Even
talk about the other side of the bar.
you know what? I had to rock parties.
I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
Very hot night.
So that was
Which very popular. Yeah. So
it is racial day at night. We have one who's really happy that I'm many adventures are here with us. Even
talk about the other side of the bar.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
very hot night.
So that was
very popular. Yeah. So
it is racial day at night. We have one who's really happy that I'm many adventures are here with us. Even
talk about the other side of the bar.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
very hot night.
so that was
very popular. Yeah. So
it is racial day at night. We have one who's really happy that I'm many adventures are here with us. Even
talk about the other side of the bar.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
you know what? I had to
rock parties. I'm a lot. There's where low rock going down.
think this way, this she goes this way. That was my she goes this way. One thing I thought was really interesting. I thought it was that was my she goes this way. One thing I thought was really interesting. I thought it that was my she goes this way. One thing I thought was really interesting. I thought it that was my Welcome. Not to
That's
mention,
true.
it's so characteristic of the local, you're learning about the local history of Little Rock. You're not just,
Right.
you're learning about it in a fun way, I guess. To me, it's fun.
A lot of people think that we were kind of very backward and just early settlers coming here, but the early settlers were attorneys, doctors, educators. Most everyone had a good set of books. So educated people came here realizing that, we were on the edge of the frontier.
Right.
We became a state in 1836. And not a lot of people know this, but the Civil War almost started here.
I learned that in your book.
How did the Civil War almost
started here.
almost start?
It's really
We
good.
always heard like Fort Sumter or whatever, right? Is where they launched the first.
Right. Good for you, being from Wisconsin.
We had to learn
By
about
the way, it
that
was a Wisconsin regiment that took my grandfather's flag from him and was carrying the Mississippi flag.
We're not from, well,
thing. Right. I had no part in that war.
I know. And
My
I was
ancestors
born
from
there, for
Germany.
goodness sake. So, I mean,
Right, so
he
you're
would
just as
not
from
be
Wisconsin as we
very
are.
proud of me. Well, along about the time that, there were rumors of war, rumors of secession, it would have been, I think, early February 1861, because I think Sumter was fired upon May of 1861. So a few months before that, of course, we had what you read about is the MacArthur Museum in the book. It started out as the Tower
yeah,
building.
that was one of my favorite
The
locations.
Little Rock Arsenal, yes, because in 1840, the government said, Little Rock, you're on the edge of the frontier, you've got to protect yourself. We had about 5 civilized tribes of Native Americans coming through here on the Trail of Tears. We were part of that, going to Oklahoma. And they were, we're talking thousands. They were afraid there might be an uprising.
Well, if you talk about, and if you want to talk about energy from a traumatic event,
Oh my,
There was a telegraph coming into play at that time. And he was trying to get word from Washington about what he should do. And it was kind of all sent the wrong way or whatever. The message never got to him. So he made the decision and talked to the governor. I'm just going to pull out everyone. And so he was considered to be a hero. Because,
he probably saved a lot of lives.
oh my gosh.
yeah, probably.
Because they were ready for a major brouhaha.
They were. Yeah, it was going to be the start of the war.
Yeah.
So there's actually a historic plaque in the yard over there
Oh,
at the
that's
museum.
Yeah, that building sounds, what the different uses of it, and I was kind of fascinated by that.
Yeah.
Because it was an arsenal and then it was converted into residence.
Well, yes. During its life, it started out as the arsenal, and it was very bland. There were no porches, no. In fact, the only way the tower comes from this circular stairway that was built to access all the floors, and you had to enter from the backside through the basement. So over the years, the first thing that happened, it became a museum. Once it was, because they moved the installation across the North Little Rock side over there, and so it was empty. That's when my great aunt decided she was going to start a museum.
Oh, cool.
She's Bernie Babcock. You should Google her sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the name?
Bernie Babcock.
Okay, I'll check it out and I'll put a link in
Yeah.
the show notes.
So she's a firm believer in the afterlife.
Okay.
So she decided she would just live in the basement over there. How she did it, I don't know. But anyway,
Wow.
she lived in the basement. She started the Museum of Science and Natural History because someone made a remark that Arkansans were just little country bumpkins. And she wanted to prove them wrong. She had every major museum in this country sending her artifacts.
Cool.
We had mummies. We had all kinds
Wow.
of things.
Yeah, that's pretty.
They said the boxcars on the trains were loaded out with just stuff coming. So that's how that museum was started.
Neat.
And then in her off time, she would have the seances over there.
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay.
that's Bernie Babcock.
Wow.
Yes.
She was into, she helped transform the image of Arkansas and held seances in the basement.
Get them started.
That's my kind of lady.
She was actually an authority on young Abe Lincoln and his love.
Really?
She wrote the book, The Soul of Anne
my
Rutledge,
gosh.
who was his first love, and she died. And she became friends with the Rutledge family and actually was given some jewelry from Anne Rutledge. So she really,
She had that connection.
We heard a
Yes.
great young Abe Lincoln story
Yeah, this
last
is
night.
becoming a theme.
We were in Illinois last night, or the Illinois
Yeah.
side of St. Louis, and anytime you're in Illinois,
Nobody loves Abe Lincoln more than people
They're
in
going to
Illinois.
talk. They're going to talk about Abe Lincoln. They're either going to talk about Abe Lincoln or talk about how bad Wisconsin drivers are. The two things they will talk about in Illinois. But there's a whole thing about young Abe Lincoln evading a duel on an island they used to call Smallpox Island.
And Sunflower Island, and wasn't it like Blood Island or something?
Yeah,
It was
because
something.
it was an island that Missouri didn't want and Illinois didn't want. So it was a no man's land that you could have duels on.
Because there was like no government.
Not convenient, right?
Yeah, so it was a place. So this guy kept on challenging Abe Lincoln to a duel,
Really?
and so he went out there. But Abe, through just being a charming guy, and 8 feet tall.
You can listen to the whole story in episode 30 of See You on the Other Side.
Yes, you can have those stories.
Okay, I'll have to hear that.
He avoided. He got the guy to forget the duel. They came out as friends and stuff like that.
It's a cool story, but
But it's just
it's fascinating that we now have the Abe Lincoln.
And a connection.
Yeah,
Right,
it seems
young
to be
Maybe
the
by
end
the
of the
time you
story.
get to Austin, there'll really be another connection.
That's right. Who
We
knows? It's fun. It's
So-
fun when we themes and things that come up on a tour.
So you have a little bit of this in your family, but
Yes.
you never were into it before you had something like
A
that.
few years ago, right?
And so then when you started getting into it, and you started running the tour, you start going on investigations too.
Mm-hmm.
And so what would you say, and this is a question we asked Luke last night, what would you say was your aha moment when it came to like, holy cow, that's something that I can't deny. Because I think if you're a lot of people who are into this stuff, they just have, either they think it's really cool, like I don't know if I've ever had an aha moment, but I just think it's fun, and I really like haunted history because it makes whatever town you're in more exciting.
Yeah.
When I learned all that stuff, we're not from Madison, we're just from the Milwaukee area.
Oh,
And so we came to Madison for college and stuck around. And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about the city or the history or anything really. And when you start learning about the history of a town, it just makes it so much cooler and so much more fun to realize, well, that place used to be a hotel. And,
but not everybody feels that way. That's what's sad.
That is sad.
Anybody who's interested in history eats it up.
Yeah.
They want to know everything,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I share your interest. I share your excitement.
because it makes, because when you grow up and if you just watch movies, everything happens in, like large cities or, you're like, well, Europe has thousands of years to deal. And we have, Wisconsin, you're like, man, it's like my aunt, my grandparents came here 100 years ago. You don't even have that much of history to deal with. So what was kind of when an investigation, what was your aha moment when you're like, hey, that's something that's something I know I can explain.
Hearing Mary's voice, because the night before, I was so involved with the history of the house, because I would talk to people, the visitors coming through, I would talk to about it. So I had to know a lot about the house. And, just knowing so much about her already, and then hearing her voice was the ha-ha moment.
Right. You know what
The
I mean?
exciting moment, yes.
Except for
And then everything that was strangely surreal happening after that, I attributed to Mary, because I just felt, and others felt too, because I had several investigations at the house. There was 2 gentlemen who came, brothers, and they were able to not only, they didn't connect with Mary, but they connected with the last owner of the house. Her name was Ariel Tate. And a lot of people in Little Rock knew her. She only died like in 2003, something like that.
Okay, so the last owner of the house was around up until
That's right.
the last decade.
That's right. So once her family sold the house to the city, which was in about 1996, it took about 6 years to excavate. It was really condemned property. They had to rebuild it. But her name was Ariel Tate. I am in communication with her daughter, who lives in New Hampshire. And so she was able to fill me in on a lot of things about the house. But I have Ariel's voice on there also. So, and people who go on the tour who knew her are almost white with,
That's gotta be really.
I sent the recording to her daughter. Spirits will usually just say their name. She has said Tate on several occasions, and the two brothers who came to investigate the house, when they heard that, they realized that this is the Ariel Tate we were in school with. She would take we call them classes where it doesn't count toward a grad. You just take it
Oh,
to
yeah.
take.
Yeah,
electives.
pass fail. No.
Yeah, it's a fun course. But
Yeah.
anyway, she was out there taking like history courses, and so they realized that they were in one of the classes with her, and it almost brought them to tears to realize this is the house we're investigating.
Oh, wow.
And if you go on YouTube to Curran Hall, Little Rock, you will see the video that they took. There's a curio cabinet, all glass with a mirrored back, and it has the artifacts found when they were excavating the property. So there's some glassware in there, things like that. You see when they're asking questions, you can't make out what the question is, but their mother was part of the group, and she was asking, I don't know, somebody's here, whatever. And you see these bright lights within the cabinet flare up, just sparkle like
Sounds
that.
cool.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
That's crazy.
yeah. So they had to come back when they were reviewing their work. You know, they came back, they said, we have to reenact this all over again to prove that it's not lights from the freeway, you know, lights around the
Reflection of
house.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they couldn't prove it. It's recessed into the wall.
Okay, so too far back.
So they declared that to be a paranormal hotspot.
Cool.
And that has to do with Averill. So we've heard from the original owner and the last
That's,
owner.
that's pretty neat. I mean,
Well, so would you say that there's more stories or more experiences in that house than maybe their place downtown, or?
No, everybody's got a lot of stories. But, you know, I know a lot about the house because just like I was writing about the cat woman. She was in the parking lot one day and she would come and feed these cats. And I pulled in and she had this white, spiky, feathery hair. I'm trying to think of what she looked like. She kind of looked like the woman in Robin Hood with Kevin Costner.
yeah.
Oh.
The woman.
Yeah, the character that Tracy Ullman plays.
Yeah, right here.
She's like the crazy witch.
Right, yeah. So
No, Tracy Ullman was in the Mel Brooks version.
I was going to say, I didn't
I-
think she was this.
No, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I don't
Kevin,
know the name.
Tracy Ullman's the character. Her name is Latrine in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, yeah, right. That's in the same movie.
I know, but it's okay. I know exactly what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Her hair
Gotcha.
kind of looked like mine does tonight. Right?
Okay.
So I pull in the parking place and I said, can I ask you something? She goes, I'm sorry, Scout won't eat if you're here. And I said, who is Scout? She said, this cat. He's the guardian of Curran Hall. I said, he is. And she said, yes. He was born here and he watches over the place, and unless you leave, he won't eat. And I said, well, I'll leave, but I just want to know who you are and who he is.
Yeah, right.
Because you come here twice a day. And she said, he is Scout. He's the guardian of Curran Hall. I said, okay, well, that's enough. You know, that's fine. I want him to eat. So some time goes by. I was there for about, I guess, 3 or 4 years. But she came by one day, she hadn't seen him. He used to hide under the shed. That's a neat place, the shed at Curran Hall. A lot of stories about that. The door shutting on us, locking in an employee.
Oh, man.
Having a wedding out front, the door opens on its own.
That
We're
makes
in
it
the side-
special.
We're in the house going, oh my God.
Right. Like,
How do we tell the minister that the door is opening by a ghost behind him?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, we had fun with it. So we found out that he had been attacked by some wild dogs. Some people in the area had taken
That's sad.
Scout to the vet, and he didn't survive.
Oh,
And she just kind of crumpled up. Nobody ever saw her again.
she was like Scouts
She was like Scout's
guardian,
caretaker,
kind
yeah.
of. Yeah. Wow.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really.
The cat lady at Curran Hall. Like
Cat
that.
lady at Curran
Yeah.
Hall. And then there was the clock. When I was giving my 2 weeks notice, we had a grandfather clock that we had clock makers in there. We'd all take turns and had the weights that made it run.
These are so cool.
Yeah, it was just, you just never could get it to run consistently. So I was sitting there, Rhonda would come in every afternoon and we would sit there trying to record, and we did a lot of experiments with rippling water where we picked up what may be a picture of Mary, because the image in the water came as you do these. And understand nothing about camera action.
Okay, so wait, what is
Yeah.
explain the experiment with the
Okay.
water. So what do you do?
Rhonda wanted to try something with a bowl of water, no
Okay.
bigger than about that. And you put water in it, and she has small, tripods with cameras on them looking down into the water. And she starts flickering it with, something this way. It was her fingertips, getting it to move, to be ripply. And so she's talking while she's doing that. And it's like, is there anyone here? We have a camera. We can pick up your image. You're talking to them like they're there. And when she goes back and looks at the evidence, all she sees is rippling water until
You pause
she
the
sees
image.
the image of this woman. We're talking about split second.
So they're looking frame by
Right,
frame.
frame by
Right,
frame
frame
of the
by
thing.
frame, yes.
Okay.
And it's nothing, nothing, nothing. Wow. Here she sees this woman dressed in a black dress. It's kind of blurry. She obviously has her hair on top of her head, and there's a high collar, and there's something, either a child or an animal, right to her side. You can't make it out.
Is it the Guardian?
Yes. Now we've solved the riddle.
Kind of sounds like Mary Poppins from the description.
Yes, yes, exactly. So
That's cool.
she became,
She was putting in a spoonful of sugar.
yes,
Hey, I'll be here.
yes, it was Sweetwater.
Tacos.
So this is what my ghost story decided to go with. They called it the bride wore black, or the woman in black. The woman in black. Where in the heck they got all that? I have no idea. But that's what they took and ran with. That's the name of our
Okay.
segment. And you know, it's probably the only one you can't even bring up anymore. I find that interesting.
Huh. Interesting. Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wow.
so Current Hall.
But what I was going to say about the clock.
Yes.
I go into the living room and I say, Mary, Averill, if y'all are here, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to not work here anymore. I'm going to start a tour, and I'm going to be talking about both of you. And I hope you like what I'm going to do. The clock chimed. And it ran consistently, chimed on every hour for the 2 weeks that I remained there.
Wow. Okay.
That's amazing.
So that is interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, because I think that's a really unique way for energy to
Yeah.
express itself, I guess,
Yeah.
Like, here's something that, I know it'll get their attention.
Yes. But the shed is it's a building that's separate from the main house. But at some point in the house's history, they brought it and attached it to the house. And it became the bedroom and bathroom of Averill in later years, and also where her daughter was telling me about it and all of that. Because back in the day, they didn't have bathroom facilities. They had to be added through the centuries or years.
Oh, sure. Right, because in 1843 they don't have running water.
Yes.
So it's just you got to go to
You got to go to the what's
shed.
it called? The shed.
The
The
pit
shed.
toilet.
The shed was an office,
Okay.
but it's called the what's it called? They didn't call it the outhouse. The privy.
Oh, right. Oh, the privy.
They called it
Yeah,
privy.
sounds
A lot of the artifacts in this case came from where the privy area must have been.
Well, a
A
lot.
lot of glowing swamp gas in there.
Right.
Well, a lot of crap went down there.
Oh.
That's right. They used to put everything. Dolls, toys.
Yeah.
Dump it in the privy.
Yes.
Okay.
In the privy.
And
Wow.
so Current Hall's got crazy stories. Now, what other places have you been on investigations on in the area?
The MacArthur Museum, Paul's house, which is chapter 4 in the book. Ghost hunters came. They called me, wondered if I knew of anybody. They couldn't get into any of the places around here. So they called me and they wanted to know if I knew of anybody. My friend owns Paul's house. And so I said, well, let me talk to some people. And it was vacant then. She was using it as a rental house.
Okay.
Have you read chapter 4 yet?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, anyway, they agreed. So they wanted to do her house too, because her house is connected. They're right next door. And so
And did they do a full
now she
investigation?
got more proof than they did. They
Wow.
rip roaring up here. I don't know if you know ghost hunters.
No, I've seen it a bunch of times. Sure.
And, here we are in Little Rock, and they're talking about coming into town, and then they unload all their stuff. They put the renters up in a hotel somewhere. They put Amber and her family up somewhere.
They
so
cleared
can
the
get
house out.
full reign of the house. They're allowed to come back during the daylight to, because they have school children and all of that, and get within the haunting.
Right. Okay.
And so it's just that they were the only place in Little Rock that,
I could
But
get into.
and Paul, like what was happening there? Like what kind of deaths?
Well,
happened?
okay. For instance, the couple that everybody knew, the last couple that lived there, she was shot in the downstairs
Oh my
bedroom,
gosh.
and that's Bonnie. And then Paul, the person that shot Bonnie, was trying to shoot him, but the revolver, the bullets wouldn't come out or something. he was on an emphysema tank and so oxygen tank for emphysema, and so she tried to suffocate him.
Oh,
So,
wait, why were they trying to kill? What did Paul and Bonnie do to make people mad enough to
well,
want to kill him?
Bonnie knew the woman. She had come late one night to have a conversation. Obviously, she came to do harm because she brought the gun with her. Or maybe she went to go back to get it. I can't remember. But anyway,
Either way,
came.
she's mad enough to kill him.
Right, she is. They were having a discussion about something. And Bonnie was a great researcher at our medical center here. Everybody loved Bonnie and Paul, and she was very smart, and she was, on the brink of discovery and all of that. It's a very, very bad thing to have happen.
So, okay, so that happens there.
That's major tragedy.
Are you getting impatient? It's like, okay, so that, and then it's.
No.
So
What
when
I
do the
mean
ghosts
is-
come out?
Let me just tell you this.
I'm just interested because for Paul's house, I'm like, okay, like that's a major thing to happen. But like it seems like something. Were Paul and Bonnie up to something?
Well,
Like
Oh,
how
no.
do you get killed? Like how do you get killed?
I mean,
Usually when you get killed,
they're
you're
not the only
you're
people
mixed
that
up.
got killed in the house.
Oh,
I mean, it started.
the house has more history.
It started, it was built in the late 1800s. The man that lived there, I had a wife and I think 4 children, and yellow fever or something was going around, so his entire first family all passed away. So he ends up marrying another woman, and they have, I think, 6 children, and they live about a block away. They built the great big, his name was Cornish. It's one of the famous houses downtown, the Cornish House. Okay, those were the first deaths, natural or not, that's what the
Sure,
first death. Then a few years later, we've got 2, they worked at a hospital, we're not sure if they were nurses or not, but they were entertaining some menfolk from the hospital, and they,
as they're wont to do.
As you do. Some candy stripers.
that's right. So they were both shot in the head.
Oh my God.
I know. So these are
So
like,
one was kept on life support. I think it was a triplex at that time, so the neighbors could hear what was going on and call for help. So the one lady never came out of the coma, so as soon as they took her off of the life support, she died. The other one, they had rushed her because she was unconscious. They had rushed her to the hospital, and she had braided hair. And when they were getting ready to shave her to do brain surgery, they discovered the bullet was in the braid. It hadn't penetrated her head.
all right,
Lucky.
ladies.
So
There's
she
more
was
than just style to
able
those braids.
to tell who the bad people were. So they were serving time because she was a witness.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's huge.
but I think that's interesting. Just like a house can have such violent history.
Yeah, I mean, lives taken in such like
Yeah.
dramatic and tragic ways. You've got to think
Like
that
not even just like, yeah, no, the guy was old and he just passed
Yeah.
away. Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Instead, it's like shot, brain
right?
fever.
You'd think they'd be. I could see where some unsettled spirits might be lurking, and
My friend never took out the canning jars that Bonnie did. I mean, she was into canning. So in the kitchen area on these shelves
Mhm.
are all of these jars that Bonnie worked on. So we're coming from the upstairs, downstairs when there was about 6 of us kind of, investigating. And everybody has their camera looking into the kitchen and going, wow, look at this. And you see these orbs just moving around like this, just like having a field day, just going up and down like a little roller coaster.
Wow. So it sounds. I mean, so that's why they picked Paul's house because it has plenty of history and everything associated
Yeah.
with
well,
it.
just the stories alone. I mean, it's like hard to even
Yeah.
believe that all those things could happen in the same
Yeah,
location.
like I think about my
No.
condo and like nothing weird's happened there.
You never know, Mike.
Right? No, well, not yet.
Watch out for that light in the hallway to
I
go
was
off
just-
some night.
That's
Hey, I would
right.
love that. Kind of.
You
No,
love
there
it?
was a guy. I would kind of love it, but there was I had rented it out. I rented out to a guy, and he had made friends with the neighbors who had lived around there, and 2 of the neighbors had died. Like one guy died of a heart attack just a couple of years ago, young, not an old guy, and another guy had killed himself like 2 doors down, and I knew they were friends with the guy that had lived there, and so I do get some nights like in the
I
middle of the
would.
night.
Yeah,
stuff,
if you
I'm
wake
like,
up.
like, hey, they're not gonna like in life they would just walk over and knock at the door. Like They're not just gonna
Now
walk
they
in
walk through the
tonight.
door.
Yeah, just be like, hey, where's Rich? What are you doing there? I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
it's me.
You can manifest things. You know, you start thinking about
That's
something.
right.
And it
Yes.
happens.
Great. And now I've said this aloud.
So when you go back home, it's going to be a whole field day for you.
There's gonna be a party in your condo.
They're already there
It's-
Well,
tonight.
Linda,
why do you think there is a haunting? This is what we always talk about. First thing on the tour nights. You're standing in the center of one of the most haunted places in the South, the museum. Why would it be haunted?
Well, maybe
Usually people say somebody died here.
yeah, either that or
we
yeah.
want it to, like
Someone
we
on it.
will it.
or a spirit on the other side of the veil, whatever you want to call it, has business that's unresolved,
Unfinished.
or they just it's a place that
It has to do with attachment.
okay.
So somebody died there and they feel
Geolocation.
attached to that place,
Sure.
like Bonnie and Paul. They both died in the house, so they would naturally want to stay around. They loved the house. They renovated the house. Their
Put a lot
friends-
into it.
Friends were there.
Yeah.
Because they literally go back and forth to my friend's house and back over to their house. But people who have rented feel the presence of someone there. And, but on tour night, I've had people go up to the front porch. When I was able to go inside, I can't always, if it's rented, go.
Sure.
You do it on tour night. We just drive by there. And sometimes I'm in the renter's parking place and they go, could you move your trolley?
Nice.
I have to get in front of my house. They get sick before they go in the house. They say, I can't go in there. I can't deal with this.
Oh wow.
So people have some reactions like that. I had a woman call me and she told me that she had gone by there, not knowing anything about the house. She was looking for a rental property. And she was walking around and she looked up and she saw this woman looking back at her from the upstairs window. She described what appeared to be Bonnie.
Really?
Yeah. And she said, I just had this awful, scary feeling. I just had to leave. I had to get out of there. And she said, when I got in my car, she said this big bright light came through. I think it was from behind, just came right through, between the seats, just went on out the front of the car. And she said, I couldn't get out of there
So do you think,
fast.
but do you think, because if I saw that, I might say, oh, well, maybe Bonnie just made herself appear to me because she's like, hey, a roommate.
Right.
But if it's
Yeah.
a bad feeling, then it's like, was Bonnie,
She
like,
was
get out of my
scared. She
territory?
was scared.
Yeah.
She didn't feel.
Yeah, I mean, I could see where you
Well,
might
that's-
be frightened just because you're not accustomed to seeing otherworldly things or.
And that's the thing that I was going to ask about. So, do you? I was making a joke before that. Hey, I see something. I'm going to
Oh,
wet my
which
pants and
part
run
was a
away.
joke?
Right. If I see something weird, I'm going to run away. But do you find that generally it's just like what should people be scared of? You know what I mean? Like we were talking about Ouija boards. Like, oh, we don't want to screw
Oh,
them.
yeah.
We,
They should
we
be
don't want
scared
to.
of humans.
Right, but
Yeah.
we don't want to. You said we shouldn't screw them with Ouija boards because it might open a portal or something like that. Okay.
Well, you could have a bad spirit. You could have a bad spirit attached to you or,
But that's what I'm.
unintentionally.
You mean, what do you need to be scared of as far as the paranormal goes?
Yeah, because you also mentioned protection.
Yes.
Because you're like, well, you don't do that without protection. It's like, well, what do you like? You wear a hat.
Protection
Like, what
from
do you
what?
gotta do?
Before any investigation, you want to say, like I said, we come in peace. We mean you no harm. We're not changing anything about you. But we'd like to know if you're here. You just try to talk to them. Some people light a white candle.
Okay.
But if you go in there, wham, slam, bam, I know you're having a beverage right now, but if you've been drinking, doing drugs, and you are at a weak point, if there is anything evil there, they will take advantage
They'll
of
attach
that.
to that.
That's right.
interesting.
And then you've got to worry about getting unattached,
Right.
which may involve a cleansing. But, I've had people come and talk to me about having these mean spirits or entities in their house. And, how they would be sitting on top of, like one of them had a daughter and she came in from college and she just screamed and went running into her parents' bed. And she was so afraid because there was something mean in the house that was trying to pin her down in her bed. Some people call it a sleep.
Oh.
There's something when you're kind of like in a deep,
A
dead sleep.
hypnagogic.
what?
Is that like the
Hypnagogic trance or?
A what?
hypnagogic trance where you're asleep, you wake up
Yeah.
and you see something and you're paralyzed.
Yeah, it's a
Paralysis.
Yes,
Paralysis.
it's like what they said with the
Paralyzation.
succubus or the incubus or whatever that you know,
Oh, yeah.
you feel like something's crushing your chest in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And so, okay, that's a good tip because my sister, when she talks about the paranormal investigation group that she goes with, obviously nobody can have any beers or whatever before they go because the idea is if you felt something, you want to make sure that you are completely lucid.
You're actually witnessing it. You're not.
Yeah, and you're not just
imagining
feeling
it.
after effects of some substance or something like
Besides,
that.
why would you want to drink? Won't you enjoy the tour?
Exactly.
Why would you drink
Right.
for something you need to learn and enjoy?
Right.
Yeah, I don't allow drinking.
You want to be in the right
It
mind
happened
state.
one time with an office group. They were raising it. It made it miserable for the other people.
I bet.
And
Because everything's jokey and nobody's really.
yeah, and I get asked, can I bring my baby? No, you cannot. Can I bring, my child, 6 years old? They watch all the ghost shows on
Scooby-Doo.
television.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Really? I said, well, let me tell you something. It's mostly an educational tour. They would fall asleep because they are bored
Right.
for their age level.
Sure, absolutely.
You can certainly bring them if they're used to being in public and they act good, but,
A television program
It's
is
not going to be
designed
fun
to be
for them.
no, it's not going to be fun.
entertaining. Right, like a television program is designed to be quick, bam, 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 entertainment, which kids can,
Yeah.
with a short attention span.
I have a little handful of people that come every year on my tour, and
That's
they
cool.
say you never do the same tour twice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's fun.
You
Nice
know,
compliment to you.
well, everything changes and happens.
That's true. Time,
Yeah.
the timeline changes things.
Exactly.
Oh, I had something that I thought was interesting. We were talking before the show, and you were saying about a paranormal support group.
Oh
Yes.
I was curious about that. If you could tell us a little bit
All
about.
of us that are in the paranormal community get, questions a lot. And, this cute little girl was on one of my tours and she said, I was getting ready to call you because my little 3-year-old is seeing people in his room now and I don't know what to do about that.
Wow,
And I
that would
said,
be-
do you think it's part of his imagination? What's he been watching on television? Is his older 4-year-old brother
Yeah.
teasing him,
Right.
trying to
Is he trying to get
analyze?
attention?
So I was telling her when we decided to form this group, and she said, yes, I definitely want to come because there are a lot of people out there that have more experience than I do, but a lot of us come with different
Angles.
things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's going to be a way, it's all about trying to help people. You
Okay.
don't want anyone to be afraid. That's what I was telling all the kids last night from the high school. I said, all of us are going to die, and you should not be afraid to die.
What? What are you saying?
Oh my
that?
gosh, I'm only 15.
Wait, hold on. I'm not ready for this.
Right. Well, with the kids. So you did a big high school presentation last night.
Yeah, we sure did. I mean, it was amazing. Oh, okay. It was amazing. I mean, I just didn't know how it was going to work out. But my paranormal friends and I decided that if we take, they came in 3 buses, so we would each take a bus and then we would do a rotation. So they benefited from knowing all 3 of us.
Okay.
And that worked pretty good until the 2 upstairs decided to switch with each other, and then my group had no place to go.
Well, that sounds like the greatest high school field trip ever.
They are here in Arkansas to help clean up our tornado-stricken community. This is what they do on their spring break.
Oh, that's a great thing.
They were in Washington, Illinois last year, and they chose to come here in Arkansas. We have 3 communities that were pretty badly damaged, debris still everywhere. It's been over a year. And they've been on our television. The television stations have been going and filming them. And that's one thing I mentioned last night. I said, my gosh, y'all just come into town, total strangers, and you're on all the networks. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Right. They don't even need a press person.
That's right. Unbelievable.
But they deserve to be because, man, that's a lot of work.
No, a
It
lot of
sure
work.
is.
It's a good way to spend your time that a lot of people just spend screwing around or relaxing or anything
Exactly. I mean, here are these young people don't know what direction they want to go in.
Yeah.
And I was talking with the principal, and he said a lot of these children, are looking toward their future in college. And when they have down there that they helped all these
Yeah, that's
communities,
pretty nice.
I mean, it's going to really help.
Yeah, shows character.
It does.
So, where can people find your book? Where can people find your
Then
tour?
go to Barnes and Noble if you want to go online.
Amazon is where I got it.
That's where you got it?
And my Kindle.
Randy vouches for it.
I got it on the Kindle version actually, so I
Yes.
just downloaded it right there.
So we're going to put a link to that in the show notes. And then
Really nice.
your website is
HauntedToursOfLittleRock.com.
hauntedtoursoflittlerock.com.
We'll have that link
in
too.
the show notes too.
Yeah.
And
And then I've got a Facebook page, and I keep that pretty much going and updated, and there'll probably be a link to your show on there, you see.
and so anytime, if anybody's coming through Little Rock, make sure that you contact Linda.
Yeah,
so
I
you
wish
can
we had
see-
more time because I really
Right,
want
I
to
wanna
go
take a
and see
tour.
some of those
I
cool
love hearing
things.
You mean it's about to end?
No, I mean I wish we had more time in Little Rock. Unfortunately, we have the
Oh,
8-hour
yeah.
drive tomorrow to Austin.
I
So
was hoping to show y'all a
Yeah.
quick 30 minutes tomorrow or something, just kind of, whoops,
sorry.
here's this place, here's that place.
Yeah, I mean especially would love to come and actually do the tour to see all the
Oh,
places.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
So maybe someday when we're touring through here again, we
You
can try
could
to
come
time
and
it.
stay in the bed and breakfast.
Right, and we can get a paranormal experience ourselves.
That'd be cool.
Okay, well, it goes on the list. It goes
They
on the
always
list.
tell me that the Saturday after the Friday night, things start to happen in the house, the bed and breakfast.
Oh, really? Because people are
Yes.
in there. And,
Yes, we
Stirring
stir
things
things up, and that's another YouTube video. I had a mother-daughter staying there. A lot of my tour people like to stay there, and then at nighttime, they like to go exploring. So they're up in the card room in the attic, and they have a flashlight, and they actually are talking to the spirit up there, and he turns the flashlight on and off.
cool.
Oh no, I've heard that too.
That's cool.
So I went to a ghost hunting class that somebody was doing at like a local community center in
Yes,
Minneapolis,
we do this here.
and it was like they said with the flashlight. What you do is you leave it like almost turned on, so it's just at the edge because you want to make it as easy for them as
The
possible.
least amount of energy required to
to turn
Right.
on, and then you ask a question, and it would either flash
Right.
once or twice, and she says they often did investigate, and I'd never heard of that before. So the idea of having it right up to the edge and the
Yes,
flashing on or off is very cool.
you can go. I think it's Empress Bed and Breakfast flashlight.
Oh, okay. We'll
Something
try
like
to
that.
find that. And put it
Yeah.
in.
We'll put that in the show notes too.
Great.
So
So,
great.
Well-
So that's where you find Linda, and Linda, thank you for joining
Yes,
us.
Linda, thank you so
Oh, it's
much.
been
That was
fun.
so nice
I
of
feel
you
like
to
I
do
know
this.
Linda. You've been talking to her all
Right,
this
yeah.
time.
like we're old
I
friends now.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, well, all these places sound like places that I need to visit. They sound like places that a lot of people would have a really cool time. And the fact that you had experiences from people on your tour is exciting.
Oh, yes. Last night, one of the high school girls was screaming. So
Yeah, I mean that's amazing. It's neat to
Um,
get to see other people experiencing.
just
those things.
remember that everything, we call it occupation. I mean, when you start talking about being a paranormal investigator, that sounds like a crime scene. We're
Right.
trying to think of another term to use.
Yeah.
I don't know, but communicator. But the thing is, everything is occupied.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yes, there is
And-
a spirit most anywhere.
And you have to think that as time goes on, more people are dying.
That's right.
So I mean, the spirit world is just
Filling
full
up.
That's right.
every place you go.
But
Even right
know this, that we have a very hot area in central Arkansas, and that is because underneath all of this topsoil is a crystal vein. And crystal, you've heard about crystals
Well, I mean, there's
and how they're,
they're
Yeah.
associated with energies. associated with
Exactly.
crystals.
I didn't
so
realize
it's
that.
all
Okay.
the way from Hot Springs over into Oklahoma, and here, majority of what is underground is a crystal vein. We've got the Arkansas River here.
Okay, so is there like a mining? Is there a big mining?
There is around Hot Springs.
Okay.
Yes, I wear all Hot Springs crystals.
cool.
Okay, interesting.
Beautiful.
All right.
Just got a beautiful ring on for the
Yes.
people
Well,
that
One
can't
night
see
I'm gonna
it.
get hit in the
You're
head,
listening
and
from
it's
me.
gonna be like, no, please don't. You're gonna really want to come back and kill me. because maybe you can get $20 or $30.
No, it's a very pretty ring.
Yes.
But anyway,
Yeah, well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and we appreciate your,
Yeah, it's
being
good to
open
meet
to
you.
our podcast.
oh
and,
yes, good to meet y'all.
this is wonderful. And thanks to the Revolution for having us here tonight. This is
Yeah.
a wonderful place.
Very nice.
Really cool. We're looking forward to exploring the tequila and tacos, which are the specialty here.
Yes, is that in the other room?
I think it is, yeah. So we're gonna find out as soon as we've shut things down here. But are we gonna play a few songs maybe?
Yeah, we should play a song for the internet.
Yeah, we'll just do a couple songs for you guys. And thanks for tuning in. And thank you so much to our live audience. You've been wonderful. We really appreciate your being here. Here's a little applause for you.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out.
She's so glad she came. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's jump on. Let's play a couple songs for the camera
All right.
Okay.
and the podcast.
And you can find the show notes at othersidepodcast.com/31. So
Podcast 31.
yes, we'll send you the link.
Reversed, it's 13.
Oh, that's
Hey,
right.
dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Lucky 13. All right. Thanks.
Are we still live?
We're still out over the internet, the podcast.
Oh, you're watching it live.
Yeah, so we do a little thing on the internet, and then we're
I noticed on one of y'all's, it was last night, y'all were just kind of sitting around talking.
And that's that was the
so we just
the
live.
live feed is still going
Yeah.
right now.
Right,
But
so we just live stream the whole.
I stopped the recording.
The actual podcast will be
Just the audio.
just
So
an
never see
audio.
me wipe my nose, that's because when I'm around paranormal things, I start my nose starts running.
Really?
Oh, well, no, that's we were too far.
Yeah, sorry, I kept with the microphone. I just wanted to make sure we got all your
Oh, yeah, that's
audio.
fine.
So you did a great job. It sounded.
Yeah, no, I was super interested. You had a lot of-
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
awesome stories.
Oh,
Yeah,
we really
good.
appreciate it.
I want to go on the tour. I don't know. Why do you have to leave?
Because we got work.
I do.
Well, it shows because you
shows.
clearly you're a really good athlete. Oh, let's get a picture. Can we get
Yes.
a picture with you?
Yeah, sure. You want Camille to take one?
Yes,
Um,
that'd be great.
Oh yeah, maybe we can do it in front of the sign here or
Oh,
something.
good.
Got our little banner, brand new banner.
Did you go to Vistaprint?
I did, in fact, yes.
We all do.
33%
What I
off.
think we should do is take that. So the live feed's just coming on. Right.
Yeah.
So what we should do is then just take just one of these things,
Oh, and just put it in front of us.
just put it in front of us, and then you play your violin.
Yeah.
to the thing,
Yep,
and just play a
and
couple
just sing.
songs along.
Yeah, we'll just do like 2 songs.
Yep.
So you want Camille to take a picture?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's not too much trouble. And then
Camille,
we will,
Can you take our picture?
and then tomorrow
Here,
I
I'll put the
will,
camera up.
I'll upload the audio, like
Okay.
the edited audio, and I'll send you a link to that so you can
Thank
listen
you.
to it.
Yeah, and you
Very
can
much.
and you can share that on
Yeah,
your Facebook
okay,
and stuff like that, and
thanks.
we'll be sharing
Oh,
that.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, here, let's,
Flash.
oops, oh, you got it. So bright.
I like that. Is that new?
Thanks.
Little icon?
Yeah, we updated the cover art just
I like
a couple
that.
weeks ago, so thanks. Yeah, we were trying to incorporate, because usually we talk about the paranormal, well, not usually always, but how it crosses over with the pop culture kind of
Yes,
thing.
it
And
does.
so,
It's eventually going to cross over with everything.
yeah.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna cross
Oh,
over
here.
too.
Yes.
I'm saying what it looks like.
Oops.
Hang on.
So my big face is right
Oh,
there.
that was
yeah.
good. That
Yes.
was good.
This is,
Hi, Internet.
So this is broadcasting on YouTube right here.
Oh, on YouTube.
Hello, world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
So we'll
it's
get a
okay.
picture in here like here.
Well, let's get the
Oh, you want to get the?
banner.
Yeah, that.
Okay. But we have to. How are we gonna get?
Well, we can just stand next to it.
I'll lay across the table with
Yeah,
my
hey, we like
Perfect.
that.
some
We like
link
that.
Photoshop.
So you, yeah, so come out here.
And I just have a little icon showing in between us.
Okay.
There we go.
And this is us with Linda Howell.
Yes.
That right there.
Oh, is that in the way?
Yeah, that
Here,
thing
let's move
right there. Huh.
That can be fixed.
And there it is.
Should I?
Okay, we're gonna do this way, probably a little bit closer together.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna do it this way.
Can you get the icon?
Yeah, let me just see what this looks
Let me
like.
move my big raincoat, my big body.
Oh, it's,
I'll try to go.
I'm getting orbs.
Okay, I'll suck in on this
You
one.
look
Be cool
yellow.
if there were.
You
Wonderful.
look yellow. My flash is making you.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's
That's
fine.
okay. It doesn't need to be.
It's already yours. We don't care the
You
color.
might have hepatitis.
I can't see
Well,
because
that means hepatitis.
Hepatitis.
You might.
I'm not yellow. I think it's the coloring. Let me, do
We're
it
all-
again.
Okay, try one more.
Did you?
Is that your phone or hers?
Oh,
That's
that's
her phone.
yeah. Why don't you take one of mine?
Yeah.
I was gonna
You're gonna have to take one of
say, she's
mine.
got some email it to you.
Right. It's like,
I just want her to use what's better. Oh, I know one thing I bet I know.
ah.
Wait, one more time, ready?
No, I'm not ready. Hold on. Okay, now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Someone got a picture of me in my backside last night, and I thought, shouldn't have started flexing.
Oh, these ones are way too.
Whoa.
These ones
Oh
are
my
blown
gosh,
up.
it was like
crazy.
vintage.
That was it. Was like the sepia,
Yeah.
sepia or sepia.
Yeah.
What do you call it? That's cool, actually.
Yeah. So
How do they do that?
I don't know. Okay, we'll try.
What in the world?
We'll try it
What is
again.
do you
What happened to it?
It just was
it
blown
was
out.
like really washed.
So
Let me get out the picture a minute and see
So
if you
try
can tell.
hold it from this side. Hold it from this side.
Just a guess.
So just, yeah, don't hold it from that side. Just hold it from this side.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
everyone's got to, yeah.
Oh yeah. Have at least one eyeball.
Yes.
still blown out.
There.
Much better.
I can't see it 'cause the flashlight.
Well,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
why am I invisible?
Well, we got you right here. Oh, the black on black.
No, my face.
Oh. What?
Is that good reflection? Oh. No, that's all right. So we'll put this shot on the.
Oh, you have these, okay.
Yeah, we didn't have the clips that we use.
We all got this little thing, it's a rod, it's got electrical charges inside of it, it's little tubes, you got the grandkids. My grandkids, so anyway, you hold on it, it's got all these charges, and you hold one in, he holds one in, all this kind of stuff. When I went to hold it, nothing, dead. My grandchildren go, that's Linda?
Oh.
Crazy.
That's so cool. I didn't realize that those. What'd you call them again? The
Dowsing rods.
dowsing rods. Are those the same? Okay, like in the old Western movies when they're trying to find water.
Exactly,
It's the same
they can
thing?
be used to find water.
Okay.
Yeah, and,
Get the candidates now. Action shots.
I was just milling about.
We're looking casual. We're discussing
Casual.
casual.
I was trying to get some more people to be tour guides for my company, so I'm not the only one. So the trolley
Y'all
company,
just don't move, I'm just gonna take a
okay,
look.
so the
Okay.
trolley company
Just keep talking.
Oh,
brought
just
in these two guys, and so we're having a little meeting, and I said, how do you feel about spirits and ghosts, you know, because some people are kind of got quirkiness about it.
yeah.
I said, oh, we're okay with it, we're cool. I said, okay, so then I'll leave. And the trolley owner called me and she said, well, whatever the guy's name was, she said, as soon as you left, he felt someone was around him. He walked out the door and got in his car, and whatever this present was went with him. He said it scared him so bad that he said he is not going to be able to be a tour guide.
Oh no.
So guys, the kind I need. They're attracted
I was
to
gonna
me.
say, well, the spirits are like protecting you.
That's right.
You know, like.
Well, in the Arsenal Tower, in the top floor, I think I may have written about it. There's the spirit that's kind of ornery. He doesn't like to have anybody come up there. And people who are real sensitive get sick when they go up there, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So the psychic, I know, we were sharing kind of a table selling our books, and he said, I'm not going to go up there because I saw him when I was coming in, and he told me not to come up there. And I said, okay. What was it like when you were up there? I said, I didn't feel anything. And he said, well, you're protected.
Oh, you've got
And
the.
I said, really? From what? He said, you've got protection around you. And I said, oh, okay.
That kind of makes sense though, because they know
Yes,
that you're
it does.
trusted.
Yeah, they know you.
I guess so.
You're
been
I've
there
been there
for a while?
before.
You respect them, and so they're probably like, hey, you know what?
See,
This
that's
lady's
the
cool.
key.
Yeah.
You treat them like
Right.
respected.
Yeah.
I know. I think that is too. Like when you go in there, you antagonize people and stuff like that.
That's what Luke was saying last night about those TV shows. That they
I
go
think
in there
that's
and they're,
silly.
like really just.
It's like, who are you antagonizing?
That's right. You can get scared to death, you know, in a bad situation.
Nice.
My sister lives, if you ever get to chapter 13, she lives out there
13?
with some lateral. And I had these two people contact me last week wanting to know, is it true about all the things that go on out there? And I said, well, once again, it's legends.
Right.
But when my sister said she was moving out there, I went, why? Because I have to house sit for her.
Oh gosh. You're like, please.
So one place you don't want to go.
Yeah. Right.
So you play, that is a violin.
Yeah, it's an electric violin. We'll play a song for you. We'll play a couple of our ghost songs for you.
Yeah. Where'd Camille go?
It'll just be. quick little performance
Okay,
here.
I'll put a mic
Oh,
right
you just
here.
stand up here?
And we'll just do an overhead. We'll just use the overhead microphone. We'll stand in front of the
Where do
camera.
I need to be? Over here?
Yeah, you can just take a
Okay.
seat.
Yeah, wherever you
Look
want.
at her violin.
Get comfortable and.
Camille. Look at her violin. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's called a silent violin.
Isn't that something?
it's really cool because
Wouldn't Barbara Faye have a fit?
you can rehearse with headphones and it's almost quiet. You can't hear it until you plug it in.
Golly.
Which is great if you-
Violin?
Pardon?
Acoustic violin?
It's called a silent electric.
Golly.
So it's if I play it here, I'll play it for you.
What kind of instruments do you play?
I play drums normally, and we play electric, and then I play this piano for just.
Do you have a regular, real, I mean, not a real, but a regular violin?
Yes, I do. Like an acoustic one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned on that. I have the same one that I've had since I was 12. It's my baby. But this one's nice because you can adjust the volume. So
Where's your cable?
there you go. Thank you. So if I'm playing now like this, you really can't hear. Right?
So it had to be plugged up and turned on.
I just saw you do that demonstration.
So it's just.
So this is gonna be one of your little paranormal songs?
Yeah, we're gonna do a couple songs that we wrote based on topics that we discussed in our podcast here. So, let me see. Are you?
Yeah, I'll come
Do you want to
down
make sure
there.
you can see us in the camera?
Yeah, that's it all. We can just see you right there.
Well, we're good.
Okay. And then we can just use this overhead microphone. We'll just play a song. Okay. Why don't we start with yeah. Why don't we start with Skeleton Key? Sure.
Okay. Yes. So,
We're starting with what?
It's a song called Skeleton Key.
Skeleton Key?
and the subtitle is The
Hey, right.
Secret
Paranormal
Lives of
song.
Ghosts.
Yeah. I was a ghost without a story, a specter looking for a past. Waiting and just watching as these lives pass by so fast. I wrote a tale without a hero, I wrote a song without a tune. But our stories need an ending, and I hope that ending's you. So hear my prayer. Let me know that you can see me there. Exercise. Take my hand and let's go toward the light. You're the skeleton key to set my spirit free tonight. I was a grave without a headstone, wandering the earth for rest. Alone in a crowd, as a soul that's dispossessed. I was a murder without a body, I was a crime without a scene. But this gun, it needs a movie, and I hope you'll heal my fear. So hear my prayer, and let me know that you can see me there. Exercise. Take my hand and let's go toward the light. You're the skeleton key to set my spirit free tonight. I was a girl without a story, a spectre looking for a plan. Waiting and just watching all these lives pass fast so fast. I wrote a tale without an ending, I wrote a song without a tune. But all stories need an ending, and I hope that ending's you. So hear my prayer. can't see me here. Exercise. Take my hand and let's go toward the light. But you're the skeleton key to set my spirit free tonight. Whoa, whoa,
Well, that's cool. Very nice melody.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You wrote that? Both of you wrote
Yep.
Yes.
Does one write the notes and the other write the lyrics, or how do you do that?
Well, it depends. Usually come in with an idea. Like one of us comes with an idea, and then everybody else kind of piles things on.
So sometimes you might have a phrase that just pops in your head with a melody with it, like the chorus of the song or something, you know?
Right. And then you
So
just
you-
kind of put it
Have
all
y'all
together.
studied music? Or is it just like a natural?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, didn't take it in college or anything like that, but definitely.
Lessons?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Took
yeah.
guitar lessons or just.
Violin, piano.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
I took probably like 2 months of bass lessons, but then I found books about it, and then you just play along. You read the book and then you play along to records.
Yeah, that's kind of what my son does. He just didn't do good in lessons. He plays, it's not by ear, but he just
Yeah.
plays on his own.
Well, sometimes that's the best way to learn. You know,
Right.
you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, Paul McCartney, like,
Oh,
can't
yeah.
read a note of music, right? But you know what he can do? He can
Write
play
it.
Yeah.
piano and guitar and bass
Now,
and
how did
everything.
y'all meet?
College.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
College at the
Oh,
University
college.
of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Our other bandmate who's not here tonight, I met him earlier when we were in high school. We played in the youth symphony orchestra together,
Okay.
and then when we got to college, he was roommates with Mike, and so I met Mike.
And so y'all just, nobody's dating or married. You just kind of
No, just
bandmates.
went in, wanted to start a band and,
Band family.
and do the thing
Yeah.
and go out and play and stuff like that.
That's great.
We have
Now,
fun.
do you have another job? He was talking about he helps people.
Yeah, I have my own independent. I'm an independent contractor. I'm an engineer, so
Okay.
I do that.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Really.
So music is just something we've always done.
Do you
You know?
live near each other where you can get together?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we rehearse. We have like a formal rehearsal once a week, and then the other nights of the week we send ideas back and forth.
Yeah, a lot of working demos over the internet and stuff like that.
I noticed, do you have a record out? It seemed like you have. Okay.
Yeah, we just put. So we'll put a. We'll give you a disc, but
Yeah.
why don't we play? What,
Oh, yeah, we should-
one more
one more
song.
song.
One more
Yeah,
song for the
let's-
podcast. We'll play a song that we released yesterday,
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah, you should.
and so
I was
this
playing some of your music off of YouTube to see what y'all were about.
sure.
Thanks.
And so this song,
Camera?
yeah. So this
Yeah.
is on the,
Okay.
we're on YouTube right now,
Hi,
on the internet.
YouTube.
Hello. So we're
Hi,
broadcasting, and so this will. So this is in the podcast. So this we released this song yesterday, and it's regularly a fully electric kind of song.
Okay.
But you asked about the Illuminati, and so this song is called Hottie Illuminati,
Okay.
and it just uses the metaphor for a girl you might meet maybe in the Revolution Room one night.
Okay.
So and she walks like a vision of the diamond come to life, and she moves and gives you a seeing eye, and you know right away she's the spider on the fly, powerless and frail, breaks right off the scale, you're terrified. In a world of slaves and masters, who do you think you are? She knows exactly what you're here after. Who do you think you are? You know you're old, body and soul. Know you're old,
you're hereafter. Who do you think you are? You know your body and soul. You know your body and soul.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love the
Thank you.
violin. I used to take violin lessons, but.
Right on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard, because I know how to play guitar. I mean, I can't really play one.
Yeah.
You got the frets there, you don't have that there.
Right, no,
Right,
it's
oh, yeah.
a big difference for sure.
Yeah.
It's-
When I used to play cello, you had to do that. You had the pieces of tape
That's right.
on the cello.
Yeah,
and
when
that's
you
how you.
first learn, that's how you know where to.
Yeah, you really do a lot of instruments. You're capable of doing all of those.
Sure, I
Strings.
play piano. Not very well. Mostly I just do keyboard stuff.
Let's
Like,
see about
oh,
live feed.
okay.
Thanks
Hey,
for tuning in. We're gonna shut this off.
and
We'll
it'll be in
see
the
you
live
tomorrow.
food. And if you wanted to hear anything, you missed anything, it's going to be the entire podcast is going to be up tomorrow, and then we'll see you in Austin tomorrow. Good night.
And what do you do in Austin? Tell me about this now.
So this is something. So this is just going to be. We're not going to be doing any paranormal.